I met a gypsy.
Yeah, and I think it's funny how like we're always trying to compare tracks nowadays, and you know everybody's like, hey, the tracks used to be different or whatever. Like I don't necessarily think that you can really make them the way they used to, because I mean when you watch the old 125s and stuff, like you're seeing that kind of racing because the bikes were so slow.
Mm.
Everything was just slowed down. Now we are going so fast. I don't think you could slow us down. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I don't
Yeah,
care
what
how
are you gonna put there?
Yeah, like we would try to do, you'd just get more people hurt. Like I
Mm.
mean, if they tried to make it more jumpy or make everything steeper and or whatever, like you're gonna have some ragdolls, I think, because
Yeah.
we're still gonna try to go just as fast. Like
Yeah.
there's no.
Well, and the bikes are so capable.
That's the thing. They're too fast now. Is
Yeah.
basically what's happening. I think.
And even not even just speed, but like if you think about like what you can get away with,
Yeah.
just to fucking frame something
Yeah.
and just be
okay.
like,
Yeah.
just keep rolling, you
Yeah.
know? Like even just like I got a couple of old two strokes. I got
Yeah.
a 2003 YZ250 and I got a 96 CR250. Both of those bikes, bro, you kickstart the bike and
Yeah.
you can literally feel where the frame and the swing arm flex, like the
Flexes.
middle of the bike.
Yeah.
Like there's just you just can't even carry the speed,
Yeah.
through bumps and turns. And like I was watching at Parla, like I got to be down on the track and
Mhm.
just like seeing you and Hayden coming into some of those turns and just fucking slamming into ruts.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's a lot,
Yeah.
dude,
Or the bumps, like just you're wide open over braking bumps. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy now just how good dirt bikes are. And it's like, I mean, they're only going to get better, like they have to. But like for me, I don't see how it can get better. Like,
Yeah.
like literally my Cowie this year, I'm like, this is the sickest thing ever. I don't understand. Like, where do you go from here?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you tell somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bones comes to you. What should I do, Levi?
Yeah.
Fucking know.
Unless this thing starts hovering and it doesn't even touch the ground, like I don't see how it's gonna get any better.
Man, I definitely had that thought watching you ride on Saturday. I was like, that's a really good motorcycle. Like the
Yeah.
way that it looks and it works for you, which is pretty wild because that was the first outdoor race that you did on that bike.
Yeah, for sure. I was pretty mind blown myself, honestly. And I think like we talked after the race, me and Bones and all the suspension guys, crews and stuff. And I think there's some stuff we can even do. And it's kind of fun comparing. Like I watched the race back, and I would watch Hayden's bike pretty close, and he sets his bike up quite a bit stiffer than me.
Yeah.
So he kind of has that gnarly, like
Charge.
kind of hangs it out.
Yeah.
But where I like my bike, like also watching is, I mean, I'll probably get shit for saying that I was riding at 90%, and I'm not saying I was, but like that's kind of just my style.
Yeah.
My bike is good for like that patient kind of cruising style where, I feel like I could set my bike up to be like super sendy, but I don't like doing it because
Then you've got to send it.
exactly. And as
Yeah.
soon as I have to, back it down just a little bit because, as we get into these races going East Coast, like it's going to be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And, to put 235s completely wide, like on that level of, I mean, you're just asking for disaster. So like you need a bike that's going to work for both. And I feel like my bike's in a pretty good spot for that.
Yeah.
Where I'll be really curious to see like, somebody like Hayden, his bike is set up to send it. And at Paula, we could send it the whole moto. Like we were just going at it.
Yeah, but the temperature was beautiful.
That's
it was
what I'm
like
saying.
an amazing day out.
Like I'd be curious to see how his bike handles when he has to back it down 5%,
Yeah, yeah.
Because for me, like if I don't have a bike that handles it all like that, I mean it's hard to.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. So I've been testing like with that quite a bit, but I don't know. I've got some ideas for the bike, heading into next weekend and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think Jet is very deceiving, right? Because when you watch Jet ride, you think that he's so smooth and he's so like he doesn't even try, but it's like, yeah, well, he's riding at 80%.
Yeah.
And that's the fact. Like
Yeah.
here, there's only ever like I can tell in his body language that so James used to do crazy laps till the flag.
Yeah.
And he'd try and get a minute lead. So he always looked like James Stewart, right? And then
Yep.
you go, oh, Jet doesn't look like that. Well, he does for like 3 turns. You just
Yeah.
got to be looking
have
at
to
him
look for
when
it,
he
yeah.
does it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as Supercross on a quali lap, or it's the
Yeah.
same like Moto 2 at Parla on the weekend. There was like 4 turns where when Sexton got close and Jet just lit it the fuck up.
Mhm.
And you could just see a completely different dude for like 4 straightaways.
Yeah.
And then it's gone again.
Yeah.
You know? So and I think that there's a lot of that goes on as well with Jet and bike setup is
Yes.
they're really setting up a bike that's like
Good for everything.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he can just ride at 80% and it's comfy and it's like other guys I just don't think have that luxury, you know. And I think you've built the kind of riding style that plays into that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying. I mean, you're exactly right about, about Jet. And I even think I would like to think that you don't see 100% of Chase and Hunter either, or like any of these guys. I'm starting to learn, the more you watch, like for those who think that you're going 100% the whole time, you're crazy. You're just like, I don't know. And now looking back at other racers, RV was a master. He's the same as Jet. He would manage, a 3-second gap, 4-second gap. And yeah, I think you could see Jet go out there and try to win by 15, 20 seconds.
Oh, he could win by minutes if
Yeah,
he want. Like,
but,
if he really hammered down, I
Yeah,
think.
but you also then, I think you would see maybe some of those mistakes that he made when he was a younger kid where you're 100%. I mean, because it's just a matter of time before it bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty interesting how it's like, you learn each other and it's all tactic. It's pretty wild, honestly.
Well, and I mean, I love that about the sport.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of, I said a couple times, like I think it got lost at times because it was always just like the fastest guy won.
Yeah.
And then everyone was just, all they wanted to do was be the fastest guy.
Yeah.
And then if they weren't the fastest guy, then, oh, well, I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
But then, you got a Cooper Webb who's literally never the fastest guy.
Yeah.
Like once, twice, 3 times in his entire career, has 2 championships.
Yeah.
It's like there's something else that can happen here. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of, you don't always have to be like that faster guy,
No, for sure. I listened to the interview you did with my trainer Peter.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
I kind of went off a bit there.
yeah, it's true though. I mean, just how there's different mentalities and, will there ever be a perfect person that has all that? I mean, maybe we're seeing it with Jet. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty crazy just how everybody has their upper hand. Everybody has their advantage, and yeah, you've either got the Bulldogs like RC, or you got these like the new up and coming type of riding style that we're seeing more of, and I think more people are trying to be like that, obviously, and it's pretty cool to see. I mean, I'm trying to be like that. Like I've always looked. It was more for me, Chase, I would say, just because I was around him more. But like I'm always trying to, make my style look a little bit more like that and be a little bit more centered on the bike and everything. And yeah, it's pretty crazy to see how much has changed.
Yeah, and I think now too, you're starting to see a lot more investment in the time on a 250 for a 450. Like I think before it was so just like win at all costs in that class, and then you go into the 450 as like the guy you are, And I think Bosch is probably like an example of that, to where it's like he was fucking a beast on a 250, but it didn't translate.
Yeah.
And then you get into that, you're just on the treadmill, or like it's like the escalator at the airport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're just on it. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, like I'm here now.
Yeah.
So you don't really get a chance to like course correct. And I think your generation in particular, and Jet and Hunter, like bro, Hunter's first race was a weekend on a 450 outdoors.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, that's so overshadowed by his brother.
I
But
know.
like he literally beat Chase Sexton.
Yeah.
His first ever try.
Race. Exactly. And you're gonna see you're seeing more people with that proper technique now.
Yeah.
Joe's good. Chance is
Chance is crazy good.
good. Chance is good. I mean, the list goes on. Hayden's good. He's got his own way of it. It's different for sure. I like to think of myself kind of similar, and yeah, it's just you're just gonna see more people that move up to 450s.
Way more ready.
Way more ready, I think.
And
Yeah.
with like that 450 riding style
Yeah.
in mind, because
Exactly.
like they're just so fast, dude.
Yeah.
They're so
They are.
fucking fast.
Yeah. I honestly like. There's people that you're always curious, like, what are they going to be like on a 450? And Hayden literally reminds me, like, I'm like, I feel like he'll be like Tomac on a 450. He's just going to be like, because they rev it, like they love to rev that thing. It's just cool to see the different kind of riding styles. Like I think I'll be a little bit more mellow. I mean, I've raced 450s I raced them for like 2 years, so I've rode them for quite a bit.
Oh, we're in amateurs.
Yeah, so I feel like that's good for me. Like I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage. And I even think I kind of saw it with like Justin Cooper. He was kind of on the same path as me, and he's pretty good on a 450. So
Yeah, dude, he did great on the weekend.
yeah, and I think you're only going to see him get better, honestly.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.